All right, on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders continues to make gains on Hillary Clinton. In the latest National Monmouth University poll, Clinton has the support of 52% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning voters nationwide. That is down 59% in back in December.
Right, and Sanders has 37% support. That's up 8 points from last month. So what does this poll tell you about Sanders' chances against Clinton?
Well, it's interesting. So it's 15 points, right, that Hillary Clinton's up in this poll. And you'd think, wow, 15 points, what does she have to worry about? Well, the fact that the margin is narrowing, I mean, obviously that's going to be cause for concern. I think more important for her are the polls in Iowa and New Hampshire that are showing it neck and neck between her and Sanders. I'm not sure anybody expected that at this point, less than 2 weeks from Iowa, that she'd be really worried about winning or losing Iowa to Bernie Sanders. But the things to look at in this specific poll, I mean, at least on the bright side for her, she is up 40 points among voters over the age of 50, and those are really the most reliable voters. Younger voters tend to be attracted to Bernie Sanders in the state polls and nationally, and the question is how will younger voters turn out in these places? And she also has a large lead a 50-point lead among African Americans and Hispanics. These are the minorities. Minority voters are larger in number in states after Iowa and New Hampshire. In South Carolina and on March 1st, there are a lot of southern states that are voting. And so the conventional wisdom is even if she does hit a speed bump or two in Iowa and New Hampshire, it's going to be pretty difficult for Sanders to overcome a 50-point margin in some of these states where the electorate is a lot more diverse.
But, you know, it's interesting, Steve, compared to where he was just a few months ago, I mean, clearly people are feeling the burn, as he likes to say. And I saw an interview that he did just today, or perhaps it was last night, but where he said that if he were to go up against Donald Trump, he could actually defeat Donald Trump in a general election. What do you make of that?
Well, I'll talk about that one second. I think the one issue that's really propelling Bernie Sanders, and you see it in this poll, are Wall Street reform and income inequality. He's way ahead of Hillary Clinton on both of those issues, and really that's what a lot of Democrats are talking about right now. And so on those issues, I think that's giving him a lot of momentum. In terms of the general election matchup with Donald Trump, I mean, think about it this way. Donald Trump, I think everybody in this country knows who Donald Trump is, and their opinions of him are probably baked in pretty deep. People know who Hillary Clinton is as well. And so you put Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump, it's a different matchup than Bernie Sanders, who still a lot of Democrats don't know a lot about Bernie Sanders. So you're putting up a sort of less than well-known guy who hasn't been through the ringer on a national scale, who hasn't had attack ads run against him, and really been in a general election on a national scale. It's just not a real comparison right now to say that Bernie Sanders is the only one that could beat Donald Trump. We have no idea how that will play out in real time if he is the nominee and Donald Trump is the nominee.
If Clinton loses in Iowa and then Sanders has the momentum, should she be nervous right now?
Yeah, she should be nervous. I mean, the fact is a year ago when Bernie Sanders was, not even a twinkle in anybody's eye, he's considered a fringe candidate. He's a socialist, a self-described socialist, who represents the state of Vermont. Even when he jumped in, I'm not sure many people took him seriously. I think in any other year, if there was a broader field, he'd be considered a fringe candidate. And this is a guy now who is leading in New Hampshire polls pretty consistently and has made it neck and neck in Iowa for her. So yeah, she has a lot to be worried about. Now, is this to say that she can't overcome this in the next couple of weeks? I think there are still some positive signs for her in terms of the type of people who are backing her, in terms of the demographics. As I said, young people are really backing Bernie Sanders, and young people are really tough to get to caucuses and to get to the polls. And so it's really going to be up to Bernie Sanders and his organization to get his supporters out to vote in these places in order for him to topple Hillary Clinton in these places.
This really is one of the most interesting and compelling presidential races, at least in my lifetime. Steve Chaggaris in Washington, thank you so much for your insight.
Thanks.